Hello, everybody, and welcome to Burly's World. Hey, I wanted to talk to you guys about a word that has a major negative connotation, and that word is failure. Now, when you think of failure, typically you think something bad happened, right? Um, you tried, you failed, it didn't happen, you get depressed or angry or upset, or you ruminate over it for a while, right? That can certainly happen. But honestly, if you define the word failure as inability to complete something, whatever that is, whatever that goal is, inability to complete the goal, then it takes the emotional response out of it. If you were unable to complete, now you can ask yourself, because you're not being emotional about it, you can say, okay, what was it that caused me to be unable to complete that? What can I do differently to complete or become closer to completing the next time? And you can, by asking those questions, you can set your brain in motion automatically, and it will work on that problem for you in your sleep, while you're busy working your regular daily grind, whatever it may be. Even if you're not thinking about it all the time, your brain will work on it. It is an amazing computer back there. We have been created with amazing technology in our brain that is still just beyond comprehension. That it can do all the computations, all of the thinking for us, and we're not even aware of it. It's just all in the background. Every once in a while, a solution will pop up and we'll go, oh, well, hey, maybe I can try that. Well, that's key, is not using the word failure as an end. You don't fail to an end, but you actually fail forward into the next solution. I think of it as a speed bump versus a brick wall. If you're taking your car through a parking lot and you hit a brick wall, boom, you're going to crash. Damage is going to be done to the vehicle, to the wall, to you, probably. That's how most people, I think, usually think of failure, is they've hit a brick wall, damage is done, everything's totaled. Forget it. To me, failure is a bump in the road, a speed bump, a tall speed bump. Boom, you hit it hard and your car jerks up and it shakes you, rattles you. And then you go, oh, okay, I need to slow down. The failure was I hit that too hard. What do I do now? I slow down and go over the next one slower so it doesn't jostle me and my passengers and the baby in the back. So failure is the inability to complete something or complete a task or complete a goal in the way you had intended. And if you think about the people out there who have done some of the most amazing things, Thomas Edison, it is said that he failed at creating the light bulb 10,000 times. He failed before he found a solution. So did he fail and did he quit? Was failure bad for him? Or did failure bring him to a solution? See, failure, I think most people think of failure as the end. But failure is just, all it is it's feedback. It says, this didn't work, so you need to try something different. It's feedback. And then you have to ask yourself the right question. How can I do it different? What different things can I do? Those answers don't come right away. Sometimes they do. Sometimes you're brainstorming with somebody else or a group of people, and between you, sometimes more answers become available. Thomas Edison was certainly, beyond so much of what everybody else was doing. He probably didn't have a whole lot of people to ask questions of. So he just failed forward, and he failed forward, and he failed forward. And what he did was he found 9,999 ways to not make a light bulb in order to find the way to make a light bulb. So it's a whole different way of looking at failure. I have never seen failure as something that was a negative. It's always something, because I learn from it. And if I learn from it, that makes me better. Whatever the failure is in. If I have learned something, then I don't repeat it. If Thomas Edison failed at making the light bulb the first time, and then he went and did the exact same thing again, that would have meant he didn't learn from the first time. So he tried something a little different. So if we're learning, then we're getting better. We're improving in whatever that area is. We're improving by learning. So we've improved by failure. Failure has propelled us forward in life, in learning, in experience. Failure I coined the phrase fail to succeed, or fail your way to success. And I know that just doesn't jive with a lot of people's brains when they hear that. But truly, if you can fail your way to success. You guys have all heard of Babe Ruth, the famous baseball player. He was the baseball league's biggest failure. He struck out more times than anyone when he was a baseball player. It just so happened that he hit more home runs. But you got to fail more in order to succeed more. The two go hand in hand. You can't succeed without failing along the way to get you there. You have to learn what doesn't work in order to learn what does work. So take that in stride. Another baseball guy for you sports fans. You guys remember Reggie Jackson, right? He was big in the 70s, 80s a little bit. Well, he is still the all-time loser in baseball. He has struck out more times than anyone in the entire history of the sport. And yet, he was super famous and he had tons of records. Well, of course, because he failed his way to success. So keep that in mind, guys. You guys can fail forward. You guys can fail your way to success. And if you're not failing, you're not heading towards success. Truly, you've got to fail on your way. But it's going to get you closer, and it's going to get you closer, and it's going to get you closer each time. Fail your way to success. Talk to you guys soon. Thanks for joining me.